All right, good afternoon, students. Today we're talking about choosing your own adventure. When I was younger, there was a novel set series called Choose Your Own Adventure. And they were novels where you would engage yourself with a character and you would read a few pages, maybe 10 or 15 pages, and the character would come to an opportunity where he or she could choose a path that they were going to go on to continue their story. And you, as the reader, got the opportunity to decide which path that character would go. So, for instance, maybe they were exploring a Mayan ruin and they could come across the shaky bridge or maybe the vine, and which one would they use to cross the river? So, you would pick a path for them to go down, and then you would read a few more pages and find a new adventure path for them. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because during Ellie's journey during the Holocaust, he had the opportunity to choose his own adventure in several different ways. First, before you proceed any further, make sure that you've taken the time to read this article that's posted to the class website called Fighting Hitler. If you haven't read it, please stop this podcast, go back, read the article, and then rejoin us again when you're done. For those of you who have read this article, you can go ahead and proceed. Okay, for Ellie's opportunities. Ellie's opportunities in the story, in the novel Night, start off at the very beginning with Moshe the Beetle. Moshe the Beetle comes back after he's taken away and he warns all the Jews in Saget about what's happening in the world, what their fate could be. He tries to persuade everybody in Saget to pack up their things and to leave, but alas, nobody does. During the course of this time, when the Nazis begin invading Saget, Marie the housekeeper comes to Ellie's father and begs them to go and pack up their things and come live with her in the shelter that she's built in her village. Remember that Ellie tries to get his parents to do so, but Ellie's father says he doesn't want to leave his mom and his younger sister, but Ellie and his two older sisters could leave. Ellie decides he doesn't want to leave without the rest of his family. Then the issue of Palestine comes up. Ellie also wants his father to pack up and sell his business and move to Palestine to start over, to make a new beginning. Ellie's father says that he's too old to start over and he doesn't want to leave. When they're in the ghetto, the Hungarian police officer becomes involved as another opportunity. The Hungarian police officer, remember, is a friend of Ellie's father and had warned Ellie's father that if anything were to happen to them that would put them in danger, the police officer would come and warn them. What ends up happening, as you know, is that there's a knock on the window late at night, and by the time they can get the boarded window apart and open it up, the police officer is gone, and the next morning they begin evacuating the ghetto. Also, during the course of the novel, Ellie makes mention of a partisan group. Now, you just read an article about a group of partisan fighters. Ellie, of course, never joins the partisan group, but it is an option for him along the way. Finally, we find out at the end of Chapter 5 that if Ellie had stayed at the infirmary at Auschwitz, he would have been liberated by the Red Army within a matter of days. He and his father would have been free men. So this is what your assignment is. Using the choices that we've discussed, you will choose one adventure to rewrite a portion of Elie Wiesel's story. Your requirements are that it must be at least one paragraph with a clear topic choice, must include one compound sentence and one complex sentence. So what you'll do is you'll go back and you'll pick one of the possibilities that I just reviewed with you. You'll rewrite just a section of the story. So, for example, if you choose the infirmary topic because it's the most recent one, You could tell us what happens when the Red Army comes. How did the hospital get liberated? What happened to them after the fact? Provide details. Tell us what happened. If they go to Palestine, what did Ellie's father do with his business? Did he sell it? Did he abandon it completely? What did they do when they got to Palestine? Remember that you are choosing one adventure. Make sure that it's very clear which topic you pick, that you've met the requirements, and remember to turn it into Edmodo.